This is a battle in the Exploit Flash tournament between Blue of the SITH clan. Well, it's going to be another Boii Tylis matchup. The difference being that in this tournament, players could bring units from two factions using the multiplayer exploit. Now, Tylis has done this in bringing 3 Persian cavalry to bring up the mid-tier strength of Tylis, also bringing 4 raiding horsemen, a total of 6 levy freemen, 6 tribal warriors and 2 oathsworn. Now, what Boii did was not bring any foreign troops, just bringing 4 levy freemen, I believe 6 sword followers, 2 oathsworn, and a bunch of Celtic warriors and axe warriors in addition to this. So in terms of melee troops, the advantage is decisively in the favor of Boii, because Boii spent less funds on cavalry, only 2 heavy horse. You will usually see more heavy horse, but the thing with Tylis is that you know that Tylis is probably not going to have a lot of cavalry to contend with. This is an exception, of course, because the exploits allowed Tylis to bring cavalry from a foreign faction, which is something that they probably are going to do to make up for their lack of cavalry. But spending additional funds on Celtic warriors, axe warriors, instead of raiding horsemen is arguably a safer choice for a Boii rush build, because that is going to allow Boii to engage, remove speed bumps, and get directly at the juicy tribal warriors. And what these Celtics are also going to be able to do is they could potentially both destroy the levy freemen and block the charges of the entire Tylis line. That could be massive. Let's see if that's what happens. Boii moving up here on the side while Tylis is engaging. The second line of Boii is going to come forward. Sniping done on the oathsworn general here of Boii. While this is happening, the levy freemen are going to get hit by Celtic warriors. The Celtic warriors are getting attack orders at the last second, not getting great clean charges. They are able to get into the tribal warriors with sword followers coming in as a second line, which is very dangerous for the sword followers. And you can see how well the first line of Boii stopped the first line of Tylis here. Oathsworn piling in against sword followers, but the second line of Tylis is going to come in now, and it's going to do a lot of damage to the first line of Tylis, because Tylis only had 1 melee line here. Sure, speed bumps, but the melee line, the low tier melee line of Boii counters or stops the melee line of Tylis. So while the first line of Tylis or Boii is dying, the second line of Boii is now rushing in. It's going to get the charges. The already engaged units of Tylis not getting its charges. That is devastating. The Persian cavalry got a lot of kills on levy freemen, but they are also losing a significant amount of men. These raiding horsemen are going to start rear charging now, which is going to be very important, but the tribal warriors are losing decisively here. Persian cavalry coming in, but getting stopped by Celtic warriors and levy freemen on the flanks, together with heavy horse. So Tylis getting overwhelmed here in the center. And on the flanks, the very cheap units of Boii are being used to blunt charges while other units rush in. So a good job being done here by Blue in holding the flanks while his center is defeating the enemy center. A breakthrough here by Tylis, which could be very dangerous. An oathsworn to the rear is never fun. He can potentially go here and here. The raiding horse being screened away by levy freemen. This sword follower pulling out to get at the oathsworn. The oathsworn are getting attacked in the rear now by heavy horse. But on the flanks here, it looks like this flank is going to be won by Tylis. This flank is going to be won by Boii. Over here, Boii is also doing well, 3 against 1. This oathsworn unit is going to break. In the center, The general of Boii managed to get into the rear of this line. That could destroy the leftmost center of Tylis. Nice rear charge here by Raiding Horse. Got countercharged though by the sword followers, and the Raiding Horse should start dropping quickly now. Although they will get some kills in this situation, they can't stand up to this, and because they charge through the formation, a lot of them are going to get trapped, and now they are dropping so quickly without really doing much in the battle. Tylis won decisively on this flank, only Levy Freeman and Heavy Horse left. Raiding Horse rushing in to stop the Heavy Horse, actually getting kills on the Heavy Horse because they weren't countercharged. Here come the Tribals throwing javelins into the Heavy Horse. This is very bad for the Heavy Horse. They're going to lose a lot of men on the disengage. But the Persian cavalry is nowhere to be seen. Well, 2 Persian cavalry units, not an impressive amount of kills on them. They really should start charging moving units now, and they looks like they're going to do just that. Sword followers getting beaten on by Oathsworn, but Oathsworn are also going to take a lot of casualties in that engagement. The general of blue doing quite well here in the center. Should destroy the Levy Freemen and the Tribals. These armies cancel each other out to a significant degree. Rear charge by Celtic warriors into engaged Tribals. The Tribals are not going to like that. One of the main differences, aside from armor and melee attack, between followers and Tribals is going to be that Tribals have only 55 armor, while sword followers have 65, and that difference is massive. Especially when the general dies, you're going to have real problems keeping a Tylis force together, while it's going to be slightly easier keeping the mid-tiers of Boii in the fight. Raiding Horse rear charge. Oh, the Oathsworn just turned around, but still got the penalties from being attacked in the rear. The Raiding Horsemen are going to drop super quickly here though if they don't pull out. Many free Boii units. Heroic charge by the Persian cavalry, 180 kills and 165 kills. These men have done a lot of killing. This unit of Persians, 91. This unit, 171. But it looks like the Persians are going to be off the field now. Only these Raiding Horse units left in the cavalry department for Tylis. No cavalry left on the field for Boii. But Boii has an abundance of melee. Sword followers, Celtics, Oathsworn, sword followers, and it's going to be really difficult for Tylis to deal with this Oathsworn unit now. And the generals duking it out here. The Tylis general being supported here by his Raiding Horsemen. The Boii general being supported by his followers and his Celtics. This is not a great engagement for the Raiding Horsemen. There are some Tribals into the mix, but the sword followers could lose this engagement because of the cycle charging by the Raiding Horse of Tylis. Yeah, they drop to red morale. They are shaken, so they might break if they start losing more men here. But the general, the Oathsworn general of Tylis, is getting beat on by Celtics. Getting good charges, good kills now. 267 kills, 270 kills. Very similar kills here for the 2 Oathsworn units. Great use of Oathsworn here. Both have gotten great charges and come up against units that they can defeat decisively. Now they are up against each other though. This Oathsworn unit getting rear charged, but 23 Oathsworn left now for the Tylis Oathsworn, and this Oathsworn unit is absolutely fine. It's still got a lot of fight in it. So these Tribals are not really doing anything, and the general isn't dead yet for Tylis. He is going to take his sweet time in running off the battlefield. So the penalty for the general being off the battlefield isn't going to be in effect before the general actually makes it all the way across the battlefield. So depending on which direction he runs in, it might take a long time for the general to die. Still doesn't matter much at this point because there's only this one tribal unit remaining for Tylis, and Boii is going to be able to finish up this battle with an impressive amount of kills on the Oathsworn. Breaking 300 is an accomplishment in and of itself. And I'm not talking about Spartans here. 177 on sword followers. They're going to get more than 200 by getting into the Levy Freeman. So very nice kills on these units. 373 kills for tribal warriors. This is just an insane amount of kills on these units. Extremely bloody battle. The unit is losing slightly, but it's just going to break because of army losses. And there we go, GG. Blue defeats MasterBean. MasterBean got some really nice kills on his raiding horse in the end. He got some nice kills on some Persian cavalry, but Blue had more melee infantry, and melee infantry wins battles. We have a situation here where we have 8 sword units, 8 melee units, 6 mid-tiers, 5 mid-tiers and 2 elites, up against 6 mid-tiers, 2 elites, and 5 low-tier, 1 sub-mid-tier unit. That is going to... it would require some seriously MLG cavalry play to make that work here for MasterBean. A valiant effort. It was very close, a lot closer than I thought it would be, but it just goes to show how much power and how forgiving infantry builds can be. Even bringing shock cavalry for Tylis isn't enough against the onslaught of Celtics and sword followers. But I do think I think I see what MasterBean was going for here, with possibly wanting to use the Persian cavalry against the infantry, of course, of Boii, and using the raiding horse to counter the heavy horse. But since there were so little heavy horse left on the field, it would have served Tylis better to bring more melee infantry, actually. And bringing more Celtics could have been a very nice choice. But that's the thing, you don't really know what the players are going to bring. The Boii build might have taken units from another faction that MasterBean wasn't able to see, so definitely not easy to know exactly what to bring. But Boii defeating Tylis by basically just being Boii. Strength and honor.